Yo, it's Al.
Alright, Wolverine Sweater Man. Normally, I don't really do movie reviews or anything, but I did share a story on the channel about a month ago where I got the dates confused, so I tried to go watch this movie a month earlier. I'll leave the video in the description, probably leave like a video card at the end. Funny story, they still let me in the movie and everything, and yeah, it turns out I showed up to watch the wrong movie, so just as a little bit of a follow-up, I thought I would talk about Deadpool and Wolverine, seeing how I actually did see it this time. So, short video, nothing too crazy. There are going to be spoilers. Spoilers. So don't be upset when I ruin the whole Tobey Maguire dying thing on you. That's your fault. I said spoilers. Alright, so let's start at, I'm not going to go through the movie beat by beat, but I will talk about some stuff that I liked and everything. Off the bat, I do want to say it did a good job of letting the emotional scenes be emotional. They didn't really like undercut stuff too much, which is nice. That's one thing about Marvel that did annoy me after a while, where it's just like, you know, you have an emotional scene, and it's just like, okay, you gotta just put a joke in and stuff, and it's like, man, just like, let stuff sit for a bit, you know what I mean? The first Guardians movie did a really good job of like, here's an action scene, here's an emotional scene, here's a funny scene, and I'm glad that Deadpool did do that as well. Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, man, who's back, and this time wearing like, I know this is obviously not movie quality, this is a sweater, but you know, wearing the suit. Wolverine, definitely one of my favorite comic book characters. I would say at number one is Spider-Man. He's the only other person that I know of, even though he's fictional, that has the same luck in life that I do. But and then tied for second would be like Wolverine, Batman, and Spawn. Oh, I love Spawn, but I can't talk about Spawn without going off on a tangent, yelling about him. So let's not get into that. But yeah, Hugh Jackman. Oh, okay, so Henry Cavill as Wolverine, did not expect that. That was really cool. Calverine, I believe they jokingly referred to him as. And oh man. So Chris Evans, I knew the minute we saw Chris Evans, I'm like, that's not Cap, it's Johnny Storm. And then, yeah, flame on, he flies around, gets flamed out, gets punked out. He did run his mouth a lot. It was really funny, really great stuff. What else? We had Elektra. I don't remember the actress's name off the top of my head. I'm going to say Julia Gardner. That's probably not her name, nor is that a real person. So we did not get Ben Affleck, though, which is fine. I think Charlie Cox is... He's Daredevil, you know what I mean? He's Matt Murdock. If you haven't seen the Netflix series, what are you doing? Finish watching my video. Watch the Netflix Daredevil. I think, honestly, Charlie Cox is the best cast comic book character probably ever. Well, maybe on par with Wolverine and stuff, but and we did get a bunch of different Hugh Jackman Wolverines, like the eye patch one. I like the comic book accurate one where he's like super short. That was hilarious. Oh, what else? I'm just trying to think of any other Wolverines. There was like a few other ones, nothing too crazy though. The Henry Cavill one definitely was really cool. And Wolverine, like from Logan, from that movie, he's definitely dead. They didn't bring him back, but there was like a fight scene where like Deadpool dug him up and used like his adamantium bones and stuff. It wasn't too bad. Didn't really get to see too much of his friends. I forgot the one kid's name. The like fire kid. He looks a bit grown up. At least I'm pretty sure that was him dressed in white with the red hair. Yeah, it was really cool seeing X-23. I knew it was her too. Like, oh man. So there's a scene where like you might have seen it in the trailers where they're fighting in the minivan and stuff. So when they're done fighting, they're just like passed out, and you just see somebody you just see some shoes, and I turned to my fiance and I was like, it's X-23. Like, I had just watched Logan yesterday just to, like, you know, just make myself really depressed. I know. You know, just I was like, whatever, just watch it, and I had time. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I feel like that's her shoes and stuff. And then we saw Julia Gardner. Again, that may not be her name, Elektra. Yo, and then we got Blade, man, the one and only Wesley Snipes. Oh man, that was so cool. That was probably the cameo I was really hoping for. Ben Affleck is Daredevil. I just wanted to laugh at that. I don't know. He seems like the type of guy that might have like a sense of humor about it. Like he's just there. He's just like, you know. But no, so we didn't get him. But that's Blade, man, Wesley Snipes. You know, that dude he's killing it. I'm sure. I wonder if part of them paying him is also they're like, listen, we're going to put some money aside. We're going to pay your taxes for you. So that way there's no issues. So you can be on set or whatever. But I'm just joking. But no, it was really cool to see Wesley Snipes. There was that line he had where he's like, there's only going to be one Blade. And then they did mention Punisher. I do think John Berthal is the best Punisher by far in terms of like being Frank Castle and the Punisher. Punisher is probably like my third favorite comic book character. He's definitely up there. Thomas Jane I liked. There's no Punishers in the movie. There's a line where there's like, there's been like 4 or 5. As far as I know, live action, there was Ray Stevens, John Bernthal, and Thomas Jane. Am I missing anyone? At least for live action, those are the only ones I can think of. Any other cameos that I want to talk about that I thought was cool? I'm pretty sure we saw the Russian in Cassandra's little, the whole like her Ant-Man compound or Giant Man compound rather. That was really cool. Got to see like. I didn't really care too much about like seeing Sabretooth and stuff. I was like, whatever. Like, I would have liked to see Vinny Jones, I believe his name is, back as Colossus or Juggernaut. I mean, would have been cool to see him as Juggernaut, but it is what it is. And then all the Deadpool. Oh man, so the like fight scene at the end, you know, like the clip of them, they're in front of that store that says Life Fields. I think it's a shoe store, just to make fun of the whole drawing feet thing. But yeah, that fight scene. So like, Hugh Jackman, when he pulls the mask down, it's going to look a lot better than this. But like, he like pulls it down, looks amazing. I was really, really hoping we'd get the mask since we got the comic accurate thing. Speaking of which, there was a scene where he's in the yellow and brown and he's fighting the Hulk, and we got to see the Hulk there for a bit. That was really cool. No Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider though, but that's fine. Not that they're bad movies, but it definitely fills me with Nicolas rage to just watch them again. No, they're great, and everything he's ever done has been great. But no, it was a really cool movie. Paradox, the TVA guy. The only thing I would change about that, I don't know the actor's name, but I think he did a good job. I would have really liked for that to be Luke Wilson, though. You know what I mean? Because in Loki, we have Owen Wilson, and I know, like, you know, it's not like, we got to get his whole family to play TVA agents. But definitely, like, as his counterpart, it would have been hilarious to actually have his brother play Paradox. I thought that was a bit of a missed opportunity. What else? Cassandra Nova, it was really cool seeing her. Normally, like, I like X-Men and stuff, but I sort of don't really like everyone has a sibling and they're all mutants and this and that. Like, it's just that's just some of this, or like probably my biggest complaint with X-Men is just like Scott Summers. It's like, everyone has a sibling or a family member that's like a mutant or whatever, and it's just it's like just too much for me at sometimes. But not having any previous rendition of her, I think she was in the animated series, but live action wise, not ever having a Cassandra Nova, there's like no one to compare to, which is good in a way, because you could just take her performance as it is. Like, that's why I think it's hard. It's going to suck for anybody else who plays Wolverine, because everyone's going to be like, oh, you can't beat Hugh Jackman. We don't want anyone else besides Hugh Jackman. But it's like, as someone who's a fan of Wolverine, it's like, obviously I want to see Wolverine on screen. Hugh Jackman, I know they joke that he's going to be doing it until 90, but it's like, man, at what point do you just say, people like this character, we should give somebody else a chance? If it is Henry Cavill, that would be really cool. There's no Daniel Radcliffe, which is fine. I know some people were hoping for that. Not really going to complain. I got nothing against the guy. I don't know if I've ever seen a Daniel Radcliffe movie, to be honest. I think I watched Harry Potter, the first one. Sorry, I'm just trying to get comfortable. I didn't really get into Harry Potter. I don't hate it or anything, but it just wasn't really my cup of tea. I tried reading the first book 3 times, and I just couldn't get into it at all. But so for me, it's Daniel Radcliffe wasn't in it. Doesn't really affect me. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I wanted to talk about. Movie had a lot of swearing, just Deadpool being Deadpool. I do like Safe Pool, which is just Ryan Reynolds. He has no healing factor and stuff. And the fight scene I really liked, where it was Deadpool and Wolverine, or I guess Deadpool Prime, fighting just about 100 other Deadpools and stuff. It was a really fun movie. It was, I would say it's a hangout movie. If you haven't seen Jackie Brown, what are you doing with your life? Go watch Jackie Brown. That movie's so much fun. Great hangout movie. But yeah, this is definitely the type of movie that you can just put on with your friends and whatever, just goof around, have fun. I'm not, I like watching movies, but I'm not a cinema dude. I'm not into I'm not one of those people that's just this isn't real cinema or whatever. It's I don't know. Just go to the movies, have fun. Sometimes you watch a movie, it sucks, and you're whatever. But that's what it is. But overall, I really enjoyed the movie. I don't think there's anything that I would really complain about. In some ways, it's I would have liked to see a few more cameos or returns or whatever, but then I think this movie did do a good job of okay, let's tell a story, have the cameos that we want and stuff, but I feel it was a good balance, because otherwise it's if every scene or every other scene you have a callback or a cameo or a character or whatever, it's just you don't want to make it the X-Men or the Fox Universe cameo thing, which I guess maybe that's why Ghost Rider wasn't in it. I don't think Ghost Rider was made by Fox. I don't know these things. I didn't go to school for cinema. I went to school for something more productive. Nah, I joke, but it was a lot of fun. I'm not going to put a number on it, because I don't know. It just seems weird. Would have liked to see Tobey Maguire, but, I'm just a huge Spider-Man fan. I am the Spider-Man sweater man, after all, except for right now. And I am wearing a Batman shirt. Come at me, nerds. No, but, trying to think if there's anything else in the movie I wanted to talk about. This is just going to be just a quick video, whatever, just a follow-up to the whole me trying to watch this movie a month early, not realizing how calendars work. Man, time's crazy, isn't it? But really hope we get Hugh Jackman back for Secret Wars. If you get Hugh Jackman, Tobey Maguire, and RDJ for Secret Wars, you're probably going to make $3 billion. It'll probably be the first movie to break $3 billion. And they did sort of laugh at the state of the MCU currently, and I sort of get it. I know everyone says everything after Endgame sucks, and I was like, what about No Way Home? But I do think this isn't going to be a review or a hate on Marvel or anything, but I do think they focus more on quantity than they did quality. So I really hope they can just, pull back the reins and just make it feel every time a Marvel thing comes out that you're excited for it. After, I think it was Phase 4, where they're just here's a dozen TV shows and a dozen movies and stuff. I did like Shang-Chi, though. That was pretty cool. But yeah, hopefully Deadpool and Wolverine is an indicator of where Marvel's going in terms of like quality, of just like saying, okay, you know what? Let's try to give people what they want. Let's try, they're superhero movies, man. Like it's not going to be like, you don't have to try to change cinema or, make political points or whatever, which you can. Like they've done it in the comics and stuff before. But it's like, at what point is it like you're just putting stuff out just to do it? Like, just focus more on quality. I think in terms of quality, this movie was good. There was no, like, even the Captain America trailer, Cap 4, Brave New World, I think it was. New World Order was a way better title. I even bought an NWO t-shirt just to wear to go see it, but then they changed the title on me. Those freaks. But the scene where there's like Red Hulk and they're in that, like, I forgot what it's called, the like pink cherry blossom thing in that field. It's like the CGI looked a bit rough. And it's like, for this movie, I don't think there's any point where I was like, oh man, the CGI. Like, Marvel uses way too much CGI, and it's so annoying. Like, even for the costumes and stuff, it's like, you can't just give them a practical costume? Like, are you freaks? Like, it has to cost more money to put CGI costumes on everyone than it does just, like, giving them just a costume. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't go to school for cinema. I've never been on a movie set or whatever. That's not really my area of expertise, but it's like, I don't know, man. It's just, they overdo it with the CGI, and obviously there's moments in this where it's like CGI and everything, but nothing felt like, oh, that was rushed or that looked bad. So again, I really hope that's an indicator of Marvel sort of, I don't know what a good metaphor or euphemism to use, but hopefully they focus more on just making just fun, enjoyable movies with a certain level of quality like they used to, especially with the CGI and stuff. Like, they used to kill it back in the day with CGI and everything. Like, the first Avengers movie, when they do the spin around and stuff, like, I had no idea that scene was just filmed on, like, a closed set. It's like, filmed in a room that I'm in. You know what I mean? And then, like, some of the recent stuff was the CGI was, like, bad. Like, I don't even do CGI on this channel because I know, like, I'm not good at it and it's gonna look so bad. But yeah, no, it's been really fun. I've been in the middle of, like, some health problems and everything, and I do have a new series coming out soon, and that sort of got a bit delayed because of all my health issues and stuff. So it was really nice to see this movie. It's really nice to see Hugh Jackman back. Like, growing up, Spider-Man, Wolverine, like I said, two of my favorite comic book characters. No Spider-Man in this movie, but I think that's what they're saving for Secret Wars. I think Secret Wars is just going to be the biggest load on your face that you've ever taken. It's just going to be just everything and everybody. Japanese Spider-Man. We need Japanese Spider-Man in Secret Wars. Like, that's a fact. And there was this, obviously, Stan Lee, rest in peace. He couldn't be in it, but there was, in the fight scene at the end on the bus, you do see a picture of Stan Lee, so that was really cool. And I'll finish this off just talking about the end credits. Not so much the end credits scene. It was funny, but it was just like Chris Evans, Johnny Storm just melting off about Cassandra, and it was funny, but it's nothing crazy. But a bit, like a few seconds into the ending credits, they did show a lot of footage from the Fox universe. Even the last Fantastic Four movie with Michael B. Jordan and Miles Teller was in it, maybe? I don't know. I never saw it. It didn't look good. And then when it came out, the reception wasn't good either. But it was nice because it's sort of like ended the Fox universe in a way. It was like the send-off that Fox didn't properly give the universe. So it's nice to see that Marvel did say, hey, you know what? Pay some respects to it, which is cool. I know Deadpool did have a line where he's just like, well, I forgot exactly what he said, but he like talks to the camera. He's like, oh, I'm going to Disney World. He kisses the camera. He's like, fuck you, Fox. He like headbutts it, which is pretty funny. But, yeah, and like, I don't mind Ryan Reynolds. I do think like the Deadpool jokes can be like, it's like, okay, come on, man. Like, it's not that you're making the same joke, but it's like you sort of know what to expect comedy-wise from him. So it was nice just having like Hugh Jackman there, just being like, shut the fuck up, fuck off, like just swearing at him. It was just really cool, and yeah, if you have time, go see it. Even if you're not really into comic book movies or you sort of checked out after Endgame, Deadpool, Wolverine, at least see it for the Jackman, man. For Hugh Jackman. Do it for him. Like, comment, and subscribe, because that's what heroes do, and that's what Hugh Jackman would want you to do.